one night that we live tonight. Let's ride till we're out of sight. So far, so they've never fade down our halo. Oh, let it go. Oh, let it go. One moon to inspire these lines, one love to ignite our hearts, one song we'll be singing out loud. Oh, there's no stairway to the sky, but I believe in there's no child. We'll fly, fly so high, no they can't make us come down. Oh, let it go. Oh, let it go.
You know, you look like washed out. It's probably because of the white shirt.
Dude, I don't know what you want me to do.
I don't know. Get a fucking tan.
Get a fucking tan. Or just not wear white.
There
like,
you go.
I am like glowing.
Dude,
like a...
you look like Casper the Ghost on this. Alexa,
No.
Turn off dungeon lights.
No, I didn't turn the low light compensation. Watch.
Sorry, I didn't
I
find
hate
a
you,
device
Alexa.
named Kitchen light.
no. I hate you, Alexa, so much.
So that looks better.
Alexa,
You
turn off dungeon lights.
Fine. I guess we're just going in.
There you
Okay.
go. We're going to be in the dark tonight. That's a little bit better. You're still shining like Casper the Ghost out there.
It's
but-
because I'm the star of the show.
Oh, since when?
I just deemed it, employee of the fucking month out here. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if it's the rains that dehydrate the shit out of me.
Worst intro ever? I think maybe worst intro ever.
Aaron is the whitest dude alive. Yeah. But I'm like Slim Shady on this show. Don't fuck with the white boy. Okay? Yeah. So. You gonna intro it or am I gonna have to?
I don't know. I don't even,
Rock, paper, scissors?
I don't even know what's going on anymore. So, you've been here since about 2:30, and this is
we haven't done shit.
This is the worst intro we've ever had. Usually he comes in 5 minutes before the show starts. We're setting up the table. We're like, what are we going to talk about? So, all right, intro today. Now that all of our viewers have finally tuned in and
Chatted with us.
welcome.
Dude, I got something on my ear that fucking hurts.
Welcome to Those Two Nerds. I am Nictus.
I am Vera Coach.
And today, we're going to talk about nerd stuff.
Yeah, what he said.
We'll also be taking calls for relationship advice. Or messages through the chat channel. Whichever.
Yeah, if maybe you have a loved one that doesn't text you back. We'll help you get through it, I guess. So, talk nerdy to you. All right, ready? 8-bit.
Oh!
I finished.
So, I defragged my mechanical hard drive last night. It took 4.5 hours.
I don't think you know what you're doing.
I just press the button and it does all the work.
I know, it's actually pretty nice. Spurt.
Our fans are something else. They really
I
are.
love 'em.
I love them. You guys are great. You guys show up every week. And eventually, this is going to be the greatest show on the internet.
And I'm convinced you guys don't even tell your friends to come watch.
Right now, we're probably like the 4th best show on the internet. There's like 3 shows better than us, and they're all owned by Disney.
Yeah. Mandalorian?
And we can't compete with Baby Yoda.
No.
In fact, we just talk about him.
Yeah. I call my dick Baby Yoda.
Oh God! All right.
Because it's like cute, and like you just want to hold it, but you just can't.
I don't know what's wrong with you.
Is it green?
I don't know what is wrong
Is
with
it
you
green?
today,
If it's
folks. I do not know what's wrong with this kid today at all. I feel
Dude,
like he has a lot of pent up hostility and
I'm gonna be
frustration
honest
in
with
his
you.
life.
The rain is really kicking in right now.
Yeah,
like
it's-
I feel
it's-
like I can't even sit in this chair right now.
He's like, I want to rip this table in half.
Like I need
Okay.
to like this needs to be a standing podcast. Just do some aerobics or something. Is it green? Only if I forget to take my cock.
Well,
ring
had I
off.
known that, I'd have hooked up the Ring Fit adventure and bet you another $100 that you can't get through World 2.
I got through the first world, and that's all the $100 I need. So,
Oh man, so gaming news. What's going on in gaming news? Anything going on?
about the same thing that's
gaming
happened
news?
the last 4 weeks, Chet.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing
Because
going on.
the world is in sadness that the coronavirus is still going on. But hey, at least they're reopening stuff.
Well, they're trying. So let's see. Recap of 2020. I think we could start with that. So January, World War III was
Greatest memes of all time.
was trending.
Yeah.
February, Australia was on fire.
Yeah.
March, coronavirus.
Well, Kobe died. Can't
And-
forget
and,
about Kobe.
and Kobe.
Juice World.
April, pretty much everybody's not allowed to leave their house unless they're essential.
Now,
Now in May, you know what's happening now? Murder hornets. What?
and UFOs.
And UFOs. This is all those Jumanji memes are accurate. Someone keeps rolling the dice and it's just getting worse. I feel like if we keep escalating at this rate, the only way that we could top off this fantastic year would be a comet hitting in December. Like that's the pinnacle. Like we build up to all this stuff, boom, it's all over.
Murder. I mean, yeah. It's been weird. And people keep making jokes that, haha, it can't get any worse.
Stop saying that.
It does.
Stop saying that it can't get any worse.
And flip the table. By the way, I don't think you underestimate my true power, because Unreal Tournament I was actually really good at, and Quake good at that as well. So if anybody needs a fresh ass whooping in some Quake 2 or some Unreal Tournament, just let me know.
Okay, so we're since it is May the 3rd, we're gonna be placing small non money wagers on what does people think is gonna happen in June.
I don't want to play that game.
I want to play. I'm gonna guess. Sharknado.
You're going Sharknado?
I'm going with Sharknado. I mean, it's been a weird year. I'm going with Sharknado.
I'm going to go with Tom Nook forgives all loans. That's what I'm going to go with.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Or Tom Nook becomes a communist and says everyone makes the same. Give me all your bells.
We forgot about Kim Jong-un. Did you hear about that?
No.
So Kim Jong-un apparently was dead, and now North Korea is reporting that he's not dead. He actually just made an appearance. The whole world's in shambles, guys. Because, all the people in North Korea were like, man, we're going to get porn now. And now we can't. He's alive.
Guys, this has been a weird year. I hope everyone is staying safe out there. And watching us on Sundays.
Mm-hmm. Always. Yep.
I figured with the amount of people that have to stay home, our viewership would increase.
Like I said, our dedicated viewers don't want the whole world to know about us, and that's why they don't share it. They just want them all to ourselves because they're selfish. I'm convinced. You can't convince me otherwise.
Oh, man. So, yeah, gaming news is pretty much the same. Movie news is pretty much the same. Although, did you hear about what's going on with Universal?
Yeah, Universal's not allowing AMC to do any of their movies.
AMC is not allowing... They're not going to play any Universal movies.
Yes. I forget what was the exact reason.
Trolls. It was because of Trolls.
Why?
Universal came out and basically said, hey, Trolls Video on Demand was really successful for us, and its first week or whatever it was out, it ended up making more than... I don't know, it made over $100 million or something like that, which, God, I don't even feel like it would have made that much in the theater, maybe. So they said that this was something that they may do in the future with some releases being straight to video and theaters. They were talking about doing them jointly. And Universal was like, no, or AMC said, no, see, we signed a deal with you that when you guys are producing certain movies, it's exclusive to the theaters first before it goes to home video. And they're not wrong. But
at the same time, it's their movie. I mean, I get it. You signed a deal.
It is.
Don't get me wrong. There's still a deal. But, I mean, I guess you could say the same thing about, Netflix.
Well, I don't know the workings of their deal. If someone wants to go and look that up, you can. But it boils down to they don't want a movie that's in the theaters to be at home at the same time.
Yeah.
Because then why would people go to the theater and see the movie? If you could just stay at home. If you could stay at home and pay your $15-$20 and watch the movie at home.
Yeah, with 20 of your friends.
Yeah. Why would you go all the way to the theater? Some people want that theater experience, and they're going to continue to go to the theater. Yeah. But some people, they don't care about the movie theater. Okay. Some people actually have phobias of movie theaters, and they have to wait to watch movies like Endgame and stuff.
Hear me out. Right now. Could you imagine watching Endgame? What would sound better? Endgame, when you saw Captain America pick up the hammer, would you rather have seen that with a crowd of people all clapping and crying at the same time, or at home by yourself, knee-deep in a box of popcorn?
Well, the thing is I wouldn't sit at home and pay $20 to watch a movie that's in the theater. I wouldn't. If I got to keep it, sure. But it's a rental. You're basically paying for a rental for the $20 or whatever. And to me, that's not good value. If I was going to spend that much to watch a movie, I either want the movie theater experience, or I want to own it when I'm done.
If you want my opinion, it comes down to what movie I guess they're going to release. If it's a movie I mean, obviously, they didn't expect Trolls to probably do as well as it did. I mean,
I
they
th-
made
I'm-
a sequel. They knew it was going to do okay.
Well, I mean, the first one did okay, and then when Netflix picked it up, it definitely gained more
skyrocketed.
steam.
I guess, like,
People can't go to the theater, and it was a new movie.
exactly. And it was already planned
They're
to come out.
locked
It
in-
was done.
They're locked in their houses with their kids. Like, give me an hour and
Yeah.
45 minutes of my kids not driving me insane.
I think that if they're not doing every release, obviously if they were doing every release, that's a big problem because AMC is just, you might as well just not even have the deal anymore, take it out, because you're right. If I can invite 10 of my friends over to watch a movie that would cost me $100 plus to take all my friends to the movies, why wouldn't I just pay the $20, I go buy a projector the next day and be projecting them right up on my house.
I think the difference is I can see why some videos and some movies would be better suited to go straight to video. Maybe they had a slightly bigger budget, but they don't want to take the chance in it bombing at the theater and not making all of its money back.
Yeah.
I think that you have a better chance of people willing to spend $10 or $15 to watch that at home as a rental because it's not available to buy yet.
You're right. I think
But
it goes
Endgame,
both ways.
that's not a gamble. A movie like Endgame is not a gamble.
No, especially after Infinity War, that movie Endgame could have sucked, and people were still going to go watch it.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it can't be obviously every movie, but there's some movies, in my opinion, that are actually decent. They get a bad rap at the movie theater, and they will never sell DVDs for it ever. So if you go straight, you lose that market of, okay, we're going to have these critics basically bash our movie, so nobody's going to go watch our movie in theater, so we're not going to make any money. But if we put it on a streaming service, they rent it for $20. Okay, they're not going to be as mad. They might be a little bit more lenient on that review when I took 5 of my people,
Straight to video is not a new concept. I mean, it's been around since
Netflix
since VHS. I mean, there have been a lot of movies, and guys, anyone that grew up in the 80s and 90s, you know what I'm talking about. You went in to get a movie at like the video store, and you're like, "What's this?" You had never heard of it. It was because it didn't get released in the theater. If it did, it was a very small release. It was only open maybe for a couple of weeks. Internet was not really a thing then, so there were no streaming services. So video, like straight to video, is not a new thing. They've been doing straight to video for a long time. But it's not usually these slightly bigger budget animated films or even movies. So I think if you come back to AMC and say, look, we want to experiment with more video on demand, straight to video, that it's not going to be out in your theater. Or if it is, it's a smaller run. It's maybe 2-3 weeks, and then we'll put it out on video.
Yeah.
But they're going to negotiate that. Universal, I mean, they had 2 or 3 really big hits last year and this year before all the stuff with the COVID went down. Like Invisible Man was on its way to make a ton of money. Then Trolls 2 was coming out. There was a couple other movies that they did this year, and they're not going to give up the.
No, they're going
to negotiate that.
Yeah,
but they're not the only theater that said it. Regal said it too. Regal said, "Look, we agree with AMC. Like you can't do that."
I don't think it's right. I mean, I think you should still give the movie theater exclusivity of it all, but I think there should be leeway in a time like this where your movie theater, because guess what, they're still going to try to get their movies done. So you can't have as Universal trying to think smart here. You're not going to have Trolls 2 come out when another popular movie is coming out on the same weekend. So when this is all over and movie theaters open back up, you're not going to be like, oh, let's release these 3 movies and hopefully we do well.
Well, that's the other thing too. Is there a lot of times in the theater there's so much competition.
Oh yeah.
That and they have to have a little bit for everybody, and that's where sometimes you get these really big breakout hits that maybe aren't necessarily amazing movies, but they're really good movies. But because there was nothing else in that genre that was out.
Think about Sonic. When Sonic came out, what great movie was out to compete against Sonic?
Against kids' movies? I don't remember there being any other that I would feel safe taking a kid to go see. But it also just happened to turn out that Sonic was actually pretty good.
But that's what I'm saying. So if there's not, like I said, there's a marketing, I guess, strategy to when you make your movies come out. I mean, nobody wanted to go against Endgame when Endgame came out because you're not going to make any money.
It's called smart. That's why Detective Pikachu weighted.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, you make these strategies and stuff like that. So why am I going to release 3 of my maybe? I'm not going to call them the top 3 movies of your, of the year for you, but you have your top 3 movies. I'm not going to release them all in the same weekend once the movie theaters come out. So do I wait? And I'm just losing more money the longer this goes on.
It's all about scheduling. It's always
Oh.
been all about scheduling. And
You can't play the risk.
normally, this would be about the time that we start heading into the summer.
And the best movies are coming out.
In a couple of weeks, this is when like the big summer movies would start. It would start in like mid-May, and it would go all the way until usually like the second, third week in August.
I was gonna say you almost have a good movie coming out.
Almost every week, and
every
usually
2 weeks.
multiple. There's usually a couple of good movies coming out almost every couple of weeks or so.
Yeah, this is the passion pit for
But
sure.
this is weird because we can't go to movies right now, and even when I think that they open up the theaters, I don't think that they're going to be able to sell them out. I think they're going to have space in between the seats and stuff. They're only going to be able to
Yes.
probably sell to like 50% capacity.
That is the thing right now is 50% capacity for everything. So even though everything's kind of reopening in this staggered reopening, you did not. Yeah, I'll finish that comment in a sec. With the staggered openings, like you still have to play the COVID game, if that makes sense. So you still are going to have to sit 6 feet apart. So you may have a 12-chair row, and you may only have 4 people in a row.
I think that they're going to probably institute 50% capacity.
They have to.
I feel like that's pretty much what's going to be, and I think restaurants are probably going to do that.
Yeah.
I think any place where normally you would sit relatively close to people, they're going to have a 50% capacity.
But I'm okay.
Max
but
rate.
I'm okay with that. Like I said,
Even stores and stuff. I think that's what he said. At least the governor of Ohio, he said retail stores and stuff that open back up, you have to be at 50% of maximum fire safety capacity for safety.
yeah, so my work currently, they are doing. We're still going another month of working at home. I know AEP has moved some people to permanent work from home. You never do anything else but work from home, and you come into the office when needed. That's kind of what we're doing right now is, if you want to come in, great. We're not going to force you. And that's the thing. I think if people are taking the precautions, like I know Costco and Menards right now are getting some big flack because they're saying you have to wear a mask to even come into our store. There's a security guard outside that basically says, and Menards is charging $1 for a mask.
If you don't have one, I mean...
If you don't have one. But if you don't want to pay that $1, you can't come in. And people are fuming about this. And, it's a violation of my freedom. Yes and no. I mean,
I already got into a pretty large debate with
Yeah.
a couple of people online about this. Actually, it was the most civil debate I think I've ever had,
And that's okay.
where people had conflicting ideals.
If you want my opinion,
Here's the thing about Costco. Costco is a membership-based store.
that's what I said.
You're paying a membership. However, it says right in the like the first couple of sentences that Costco at any time
Can
can
change
change the stipulations of your membership without warning.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, don't shop there. You don't have to.
Yeah, I think that if people are requiring you to wear a mask and you personally don't want to wear one, okay. You just you're going to lose out on that option of shopping. But when people say, "Oh, it's against my rights, it's against my freedom," whatever. You just want to argue. Just don't shop there. Like it's one of those
Well,
things.
the one guy's tried to say, well, it's discrimination. And I think that there are some, because originally the governor of Ohio, he said that all businesses had to have customers wear masks, but then he went back on
Yeah.
that and said no because of instances where maybe someone has autism
Yeah.
or they have some sort of
breathing problems.
breathing problem that they can't, they
Yeah.
physically or mentally cannot wear the mask.
But that's the thing, Abel, kind of talking with that point, and we're not going to stay on this point too long because this is a sensitive topic for people.
I don't feel that it's overly sensitive.
Some
I mean,
people, some people take it way farther.
It
than what
basically
needs to be.
boils down to Costco can do whatever they want to do because they are the business, just
Yeah.
like they can institute things like no shirt, no shoes, no service.
Yeah.
They can tell you that you have to wear a mask in their store, and I'm
Well-
sorry if you don't like it. Too bad.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing.
You know what they can't do? They can't say, well, you can't be black and shop here.
Yeah.
They can't do that. That's discrimination.
Yeah.
They absolutely can't do that.
And I think right now, like I said, I mean, it sucks because, like, me personally, when I go to the store, I probably should wear a mask. I don't. because it's just not part of my daily routine. I have nothing against people that wear it. But yeah, you get the looks of like, are you fucking serious? You're
yeah,
not
well,
wearing a
I mean,
mask?
they look at you like you're a villain or something. Like you're a bad person.
And like, I still remain my distance. Like, I've had plenty of times where I've looked down an aisle and I'm like, man, there's like 5 people down this aisle, and they may be scattered, but I'm like, I'll wait a sec.
And the mask thing is
To protect you.
It's
from
not
others.
it's not to protect you. It's to protect them from you.
Yeah. So yeah, it protects you from.
I don't know how
Both.
well the masks work or whatever, but you know what?
Hey, guess what?
Whether it does or it doesn't,
It's a comfortability thing.
It's-
It really is.
it all boils down to it makes people feel a little bit better.
It's exactly, and that's what I'm saying. It's
And
an
I'm
ease of
okay
mind.
with that.
No,
Whether
for
it
sure.
works or it doesn't work, if it helps even a little bit,
Mhm.
is it not worth maybe the slight bit of discomfort to, one, make other people feel comfortable when you're around them,
Exactly.
and two, just your own peace of mind.
But like I said, I just, in my opinion, I want the kind of like the world to go back to normal, and like not people be so.
World's never going to be normal again.
Oh, I don't think so. But I think the overall, like, I just want, like, if I don't know if you guys have ever noticed going into a store now, like before when you go into a store, it was a little loud. Like people were talking.
Mhm.
Like maybe it's like me and you go to the store, I'm still talking to you. They're not even talking there. Like there's no communication.
No, they're not even talking to the people that they came
It's like a graveyard, and it's like somebody died.
with. Thanks for the like, Trudy. Let's get caught up on some of these comments, then we'll continue that.
Yeah.
Trolls 2 made more in a week than the first one did in its entire run. That is true.
Yes.
What are you renting for $20? We are renting nothing. I'm not renting anything
No,
for $20.
but I know that most
that's the cost to
Yeah.
rent Trolls on Vudu right now. It's $20.
it's basically essentially the price of some places
about 2 movie tickets. At
2
like
movie
a
tickets.
matinee.
That's what I'm saying, because they figure you're probably watching it with somebody else and you're not lonely. But
Well, and that's the thing though is
they charge.
Is it any different than pay per view?
No.
I mean, you buy a pay per view for $50 or $60,
Yeah.
and then you invite 20 people over.
everything you've rented. So like I said, it varies. I've seen some movies that cost like $3 to rent on like YouTube or something.
It
like
depends
it's
on
$3.
it depends on the movie. When Trolls was out, it was $20 on Vudu to rent it.
Yeah.
I think it was 15 or 20 on most of the platforms. Now, some of the other ones like Sonic and stuff, when those came out, because they had already had like a partial theater run, they did lower the price down on those. Those weren't $20 when they came out.
Yeah.
So no, not all movies are $20. I wasn't saying that. I think
We're just throwing out a number. I think.
But the Trolls definitely was $20 to rent it.
Yeah.
That's what it cost.
Yeah.
It may not cost that now. Maybe you got a coupon. Maybe you got a deal. I'm only telling you Vudu prices. Vudu, it was $19.99 to rent it.
Yeah, and that's my thing. So, kind of as we kind of all get caught up on comments here, like I know a lot of people are still working from home, so I applaud you. And like I said, it's a comfortability thing, guys. If you guys don't want to go out, don't feel like you have to since everything's reopening. But also don't, if you're a person that's like, man, I'm ready to go out, just take your precautions. Still wash your hands like you should do normally. You should wash your hands.
People overall are dirty.
They are.
They always have been dirty.
And this has made people a little bit cleaner.
And I think that some people haven't changed their lifestyles at all.
Mm.
And that's gross. Because I'm sorry, they did a
poll.
A poll. They did like a survey thing. I'm not sure how they got the info, but they polled and they said like it was an alarming amount of people that go to the bathroom and don't wash their hands. And I'm not talking number ones. I'm talking number twos. Number ones still kind of gross, but number twos, come on, man. You just had your hand near poop,
Yeah. I mean,
okay?
you're not wrong.
And what if you missed a little?
Hello.
You know what I mean? And then they're out shaking hands. They said like the amount of people that, and not just dudes, it was women too, who just got done taking care of themselves in a sexual nature that don't wash their hands afterwards. Gross.
Yeah, they said you shake hands.
Super gross.
You shake hands like with 6 of those people every year.
Every year.
Every year. But they also say you eat like 12 spiders.
That's
a
not
year.
true at all. That spider thing is complete and total BS. Science. They did. I think it was on MythBusters.
Yeah.
Or a show similar to MythBusters, where they said most spiders won't go near you while you're sleeping. If they're going near you, they're trying to get the hell away from you, not crawl inside your body
Yeah.
because of the vibrations and stuff that humans make while they're sleeping.
I don't know. But what was it? Like, people are crazy. But like I said, not them spiders, Jamie. You're not wrong. They're delicious. But
Especially with peanut butter.
my thing is the world is definitely not going to go back to normal.
No.
But at the same time, I think what's cool is that it really, really opened up the door for people getting stuff done for themselves. So, like, I know a lot of people that, I don't know how well you guys keep up on laundry, but a lot of people, laundry fucking sucks.
It does.
And
It's pretty
a lot
terrible.
of people don't want to do it. But I know so many people are like, man, I did some DIY projects. I'm caught up on laundry. Like, I don't have anything to worry about at all. And it's kind of weird seeing that. And like I said, I know personally, I've rearranged my room once. I've added shelves. I've like done some projects. I've caught up on stuff that I wouldn't normally do. But going on walks, like, I know that's a big thing right now. And guys, I'm telling you,
And you know why? Because you don't have anything else you can do.
yeah, you have nothing else there to distract
You can go to the grocery store, but I mean, that you can only go to the grocery store so many times where you're like, I don't want to go to the grocery store anymore. You can't go to the library. You can't go to movie theater. You can't go bowling. You can't go play putt-putt. You can't go drive go-karts. You can't go to the beach. I think a lot of beaches are closed down right now. You can't have picnics. I mean, you can't do anything.
Yeah, and that's my thing. So, what was it? It's very weird. Because in all honesty, you have like 4 things you can do right now.
Okay, and she brings up a good point. The pool thing. That strikes me as one of the weirdest ones because I would think that chlorine and stuff would be pretty good against most viruses.
I don't think it's so much about being in the pool.
Well, then I would make their asses have to be in the pool. Get in the pool or you can't be here. If you're just hanging out and getting wet or getting the sun on you, screw you, get in the pool.
Yeah.
Because that chlorine will kill the COVID.
Wait, you all are... We are 6 feet apart. We're saving enough room for the Holy Spirit, you know? But it's kind of weird. And like I said, the weddings, I feel bad for people that
This is an optical illusion. See, my hand just goes right through him.
Yeah, see?
He's not really here.
Yeah.
This is green screen.
Yeah, but it's weird. Like I said, so many things are getting changed. The way people, like schools, like public schools and private schools, how they're going to deal with snow days since everybody's like online now. There's a lot that's going to change. I think some for the better because I think a lot of businesses are like, man, we can have people work from home. We're still getting the same productivity value. You know, maybe we don't have to have this large area anymore.
I have overheard, not just at work, but in actually a few conversations with people that they said that their people working from home have been getting more done.
For sure.
Now, I know that some jobs, it's actually harder. Like my job, the fact that everyone in my department is at home but me makes my life really hard. So they're doing a really good job, and I'm not slamming on them or anything, but
they're doing their best.
They're doing the best that they can, but we are not any more productive than we were.
Yeah.
We are almost basically at max productivity level. If we produce more, I need another person there. That's pretty much what it's going to boil down to. But I have heard other places, they said that the productivity is actually up. And, I mean, I've read surveys and stuff of that before all of this even happened, that said people that work from home typically are happier, they are healthier, they're not as stressed, and they're more productive.
Well, like I said, I think the nice thing about it is, I know this kind of varies for everybody, but, like, I know for sure, myself included, like, it's been really nice, you know, getting up, and, you know, I don't have to worry about somebody breathing down my neck about getting something done. If I want to wake up at 5 a.m. and get to work, I can.
I mean, even though your boss is cool, right?
Oh, my boss is awesome. By the way, big shout out to him.
You know, even if your boss is super cool,
yeah,
there's just still something. They're still your boss.
Yeah.
And even though you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, there's still that sense of they could just start critiquing me at any moment.
Exactly.
And no one wants that.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it's awesome. Like I said, I mean, there's been a lot of times where, yeah, I've stopped working at like 2:00, and I was like, I'm gonna go on a walk for an hour, and I go walk for an hour.
And Nomad's not wrong. Abel's not wrong. Work days are too long anyway, because most people don't work just 8 hours.
What was it? Japan. Japan's work days are like 6 hours long max, and like they are happier because
they get to spend more time with their families.
That's what I'm saying.
And they get to spend more time doing things that aren't work,
yeah.
traveling to work, or getting ready for work.
And
Your day is not 8 hours, right?
No.
So when you wake up in the morning, we'll say that it only takes you, we'll say 20 minutes to get to work. And that's not realistic for most people.
Yeah.
So you get up, you have to get up anywhere between a half hour to an hour and a half earlier than you need to. So that way you have time to get everything you need to get done in the morning, eat breakfast, take a shower, brush your teeth. If you have kids, you got to get them ready to go.
Yeah.
So now you're an hour and a half in. Then you drive. Now you've got 2 hours into your day already. Then you work for 8 hours, and then you have another
half hour,
20
45 minutes.
20 minutes to a half hour to get home.
Traffic, yeah.
And then you come home, and then you're getting dinner and stuff ready.
You got to play parent.
You've now invested 12 hours of your entire day to either getting ready for work, working, or basically getting ready to go to bed.
That's
You've had no time to really
Yeah.
enjoy your life or to do your hobbies or whatever.
that's the main thing. Like
That's
I
why
said,
people are miserable. That's why people
sure.
were unhappy before all of this.
for sure. And I mean, it's the simple fact that like it's true. Like I said, I mean, you can't be any more right when you say that. Like getting up and being able to go to my desk. I mean, I'm 5 feet from my desk. I get up, go to my desk. Oh man, I want to take a break. I've looked at this too long.
And no one is going to question why you're
No.
doing it.
I get up.
No one cares.
I go make a sandwich. I go walk around. Go watch TV for a sec. Nobody cares. And like I said, I feel personally like nobody's breathing down my neck. Don't get me wrong. If somebody would have to call me or get a hold of me, you still have to be available. That's not what I'm saying. Like you can't just be totally not productive. But it's the fact that I can get up. There's no pressure. If I want to get up and start my day exactly at 9 o'clock, I can. I don't have to be looking all pretty unless I need to be on a video call. But that's my thing. It's things like that. It's the little things to where, man, I want to take a break for a sec, walk around.
It's also like you said, you're able to get a couple of the chores done around your house that normally you couldn't do.
You're so much more productive. Imagine if on your lunch break you could go home. I'm gonna do a load of laundry, 2 loads of laundry, or I can sit down all day when I'm at work. I got 4 loads of laundry to do. I'm just gonna do them. Those are my breaks.
I actually know people that do go home and do those things on their lunchtime because they don't have time to do them when they get home.
Exactly. There's not enough time in the day, especially if you have kids or something like that, to where you can go home, spend time with your significant other, give your kids the attention they need, and then have time for yourself. And not go to bed by 1 a.m.
I'm not saying
you're a hero.
Let's work less and be lazy. We're not saying that. What I am saying is that
be happier.
I want to see people happier in what they're doing. I feel like even if your job is kind of crummy, I feel like if you had a little bit more time to do things that you wanted to do, that you got to spend time with people that you wanted to spend time with, and that it wasn't just this constant productivity and then you die.
Yeah.
Because you get stuck in a rut sometimes where work, sleep, and that's all you do.
Yeah, well, that's what your Monday through Friday turns into. And then Saturday, you want to sleep in. You want to have those lazy Sundays where you don't do anything. You literally just sit there and watch TV all day and sit there in your sweatpants and get Dorito stains on your shirt. Like, imagine if you could do, like I said, I feel so much better. I mean, if you just cut out the commute time to work, just cut that out.
Yeah.
You save an hour every day. Every day.
Minimum.
Some
people, it's 2 hours or more.
I know I drive currently right now. If I'm coming home from work, it takes me about 30 to 45 minutes. Bam. 45 minutes of my day gone. Just from sitting in a car. I'm not working in a car.
My commute is only anywhere between 15 to 20 minutes.
You're still losing 40 minutes.
But I'm still losing almost an hour of my day.
Every day. And by the time
I know everyone's like, well, it's only an hour. I'm not getting paid for that hour.
No,
but it's still, I'm working. To me, that's working.
Yeah, that's my thing. I mean, it's definitely an awesome feeling, and obviously I feel bad for the people that can't work right now. They can't work from home. They've lost their job and stuff like that. It does suck,
dude. That sucks.
And don't get me wrong. Do I think that people right now, especially because you're forced to stay at home, so mental issues are going to come up? It will. Go on walks. Do what you can to get out of the house, see the sun. I know I live in a room with no windows, so I don't even know what time it is. It's like Vegas up in there. So you got to make sure that you're getting up You're still being active. Go outside. I'm telling you, it will change your life. And don't take your phone. I actually take your phone, but don't check it unless it's a call. Because
No, take your phone, because stuff happens.
stuff does. But take your phone, but don't pay attention to your phone. Don't look at it. Just go on your walk. Your phone is just there in case.
Don't watch TikTok.
No,
Don't get on
no.
Facebook.
No.
Don't be checking out the Instagrams.
I go on, like I said,
Leave Snapchat alone.
me and my girlfriend
What are
have
the kids
literally,
into now?
I don't know.
Anything else?
Everything.
Okay.
Drugs.
Drugs.
But like, me and my girlfriend, we go on walks now, to where that's like our time to actually just sit there and talk. There's no phone to like block it and stuff like that. And that's pretty good because you actually get to hear about the person's day. It's not like, oh yeah.
Well, that's honestly what we've been, what Jan and I have been doing is where before a lot of times we would just kind of eat food wherever.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you might eat in your room or whatever.
Yeah.
We've actually been sitting at the table when we have a meal.
Yeah.
And we converse. We actually have conversations with each other.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about what's going on or how work is going or, you know, what really grinds our gears that day or whatever. It doesn't matter.
You don't really grind my gears.
And I didn't realize how much that you kind of miss that just talking to someone, and you don't do that a lot.
Oh, for sure.
Because even though you may communicate all day through text messaging or phone calls
It's
or
not the same.
email or however it is you stay in contact, it's not really the same because I don't really feel that you can have a meaningful conversation through text message.
I think
I just don't.
I think it's hard because I mean we've all been in that scenario of somebody says something, and you take it personal. Like you take it as, oh, they're upset. When in all honesty, they're not. Like they're completely fine.
I just remember growing up,
Yeah.
we had dinner at our table every night. And my brothers and sisters and my mom and dad would sit there and we would sit around and we would eat. Now, dad sometimes wasn't there. He was always working. But on the weekends and stuff, when he was home, he was there. And, and if he was home, he was there. And he would ask us about how school was.
Yeah.
We would get to hear about how his day and stuff was. And we got to hear about those damn Democrats and stuff. You know, like we got to hear about all that stuff.
For sure. And it's that 45 minutes to an hour of just talking. There's no distractions but the person in front of you. That's your distraction. And that's important, like I said, because me and Maggie, we both find it's tough because like I love to stream, and you know, even though we're in the same room, we still consider it hanging out, but we don't talk. Like I'm playing video games, she's watching anime, and you know, vice versa. She's doing her work, I'm streaming.
I consider that still hanging out because sometimes
It is.
Sometimes you just want that person to be in the same space
Because at any
as
time
you
I can talk to you
and share the same oxygen that you are breathing.
but
Because they're right there.
Yeah,
Even though they're encompassed in whatever they're doing, you're encompassed in
For-
whatever you're doing.
for sure. But we found that time.
It's nice though.
We're finding that time. So right now, I've been picking up her from work,
Mhm.
and so we spend that 45 minutes to an hour because we normally get food after because she's hungry. She worked 12 hours, and instead of we're gonna sit, drive, eat in the car, we actually stop at the restaurant we go to or whatever, and we eat. We sit there and eat. We watch The Office, and we sit there and talk. But that's what kind of we've been doing instead of going on the walks. Like we try to find like that hour every day to sit there and just talk to each other. And I recommend it for everybody. Like it doesn't have to be your significant other. It could be your kids.
Yeah.
Like sit down, hang out with them for an hour.
Yeah.
Like play some GI freaking Joes. Or
The kids still play that?
I don't care. I played it until I was in 8th grade. Like I don't care.
Sit down and
But-
talk. Sit
but
down and
hang
talk
out-
to your kids.
Hang out. Hang out and just talk to somebody for an hour. Can I do it with myself? But like with us, I know Noah. Me and Noah, we play video games every day. I
Mm-hmm.
text Noah every day. Like there's days, and Noah probably doesn't feel the same because he doesn't love me as much. Noah, like I told my girlfriend, and she actually kind of laughed about this. I didn't text Noah all day, and I'm kind of sad about it because like I didn't talk to him. I talk to Noah every day. Every day.
He says, whoa, buddy. I feel like I know what's going on. He's like, I like you.
Yeah.
I don't like you, but I like you.
But me and Noah, we talk every day. We sit in Discord, and it's just like I work with, I would consider a good friend now. Like we play League, but we sit there, we BS the whole day, and it's fun. And it's weird on the days that we don't. Like that's my thing. Like it's nice, and it's weird if I go a whole day without talking to him. Yeah, see, we miss each other. We sit there and talk.
So Panda says her and Janet, they're going to stream horror games.
You should.
Together.
You
They're
should.
going to do it together, and I said, "This is we're going to get into the other thing soon. This is why I love D&D. D&D is one of the most social games that you can play
For sure.
because that in this instance, that's two people that would never have known each other had we not all sat down to play D&D together.
Well, cheers to Irish Panda. Like, she's in my stream almost every time now. Unless you're streaming, she chooses you over me.
You have
It's whatever.
We're trying to grow, so and when she's on, I suggest just turn her channel on and watch her. She was playing The Witcher yesterday, and that was kind of cool to watch.
Yeah, but if you were gonna get into streaming seriously, I'll be there as much as I can. I'll even turn it on. And big thing for you guys, and I wanted to let you guys know. If you guys are watching people on Twitch, I know people are pushing for like affiliate and sub buttons and stuff like that. A big thing you guys can do that helps not only us when we stream, but others. If you're using, I'm just going to go with Google Chrome because I know that one the best. When you turn on their channel, turn the volume all the way up. And then on the tab part that's up in the top, right click on it and hit mute site. It will count as a viewer still. So say you have to go do something, they'll still count that viewer if you leave them on. If you mute them, they take it away from you. So that's just something I wanted to let you guys know because viewership helps move people up higher on the channel and it's more important. So like seriously, if you guys do that for us, that helps because you guys may not be able to stay for the whole hour and a half, whatever that we do this for, but that one viewer could make us, make somebody that's bigger than us host us. And then they're like, oh my God, these guys are actually kind of cool and, help us grow.
I mean, we think we're cool.
But you guys can do that for yourselves too. Like
And we've got a few fans that think we're cool.
I know, for sure. And I'm assuming this is a question for you, maybe for both of us, but I'll let you answer first. One True Villain, thank you for the host.
Thank you for the host.
Sarah, thank you for the like. Appreciate it. You guys are active today, which we love. But this is probably for you. How are you enjoying our campaign? Because I know you're running one, but we'll switch over to D&D.
All right. So it's weird to play a character.
Yeah.
I know I've stated this many times. I've stated it on the show. I've stated it in my stream. I've stated it while we were playing in your game. It's weird to sit back and play a character when you've been a dungeon master for 20 years and never really had the opportunity to because no one else wanted to learn how to do it. So when I wanted to play D&D, I basically had to go, well, I guess I better learn how to play and run the game because no one else wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And so it's been kind of cool to just sit back, but it's also been weird. It's been kind of weird because people will ask a question, and I'm so used to just having to answer all of the questions that while your guys' DM, who is doing a really, really good job, by the way, he has his own unique style, and that's what's really cool about getting to see it from the other side of the table. So even though I would maybe make a different ruling or I would do things a little different, I'm still shutting up and letting him run his game. He's not running it wrong by any means. He's running it 100% correct.
Yep.
But it is hard for me to just shut up and let him run his game sometimes because I want to interject or make a suggestion, but I'm like, nope, just let him run his game. Sit back and let him steer the car.
For sure.
But I still caught myself the first week linking stuff like the answers to questions. I still caught myself like when they were talking about the Nothic. I went to D&D Beyond. I didn't care about the stats. I just wanted the art, copied it, and put it in Discord so you guys could see actually what it looked like.
Yeah, I think it's important. Like I said, I mean, I know I'm enjoying the campaign, and I haven't really been a D&D person, but it's really nice with our group. I've actually been trying to watch your guys's to keep up with yours. That way we have conversation.
Ours is almost all audio now. I don't see the point in having the video cameras up.
It's not worth
it's
sometimes.
If I had a more expensive setup and higher bandwidth and I had a dedicated streaming computer, I definitely would.
Oh yeah.
But my computer right now is like maxing, just running video on Discord and Streamlabs. Like I could overclock my computer and stuff. I just don't want to.
Yeah, but it's been nice playing with you because, like I said, I've never seen you outside the role of DM. So the fact that you actually have to roll for hit, and we get to see that, I think it's hilarious.
Well, I figured out a couple of things too. Like the first week that I changed into a bear, when I was rolling my attack rolls and stuff, you guys couldn't see them because it was whispering to the DM. That's one of the default things on the Beyond 20 app. So I figured out. So now this week you guys got to actually see my rolls.
Yeah.
But
It's been awesome. Like I said, I highly recommend it for anybody that right now, like Roll20 is a great way. And if you're a visual learner, buying the books on there gives you the maps so you don't have to do anything. And it's a great way to have, 4 or 5 of your good friends that can play consistently just sit there and play with you. Like, I've gotten more into D&D so much that I'm like, man, I really want to play another game. Like,
we were talking about that
I'm
today.
like, I want to get another game in, but
if I had the time,
yeah,
I probably would stop streaming video games altogether and just change my stuff to streaming D&D.
Yeah.
Three days a week.
Yeah, it would be nice. I mean, especially if you were playing the same campaign. It wasn't even 3 different games, because I know we've talked about it. I've talked with our DM Brandon about it, that like I want to retire D&D after a 1 through 20 campaign. And
that's kind of how I feel. I either want to get in more games,
yeah,
or I want to just play some of the games I'm playing more often.
Yeah.
I don't need to play 5 days a week or anything like that. I feel because I don't want to burn out, but I'm so excited by the time that the weekend comes around. Like I was stoked because I was like, I get to play Dungeons and Dragons Friday, and then I get to play it again on Saturday. That is a frog or something outside the window. That's what you're hearing.
Oh, dude, I was losing it for a
Yeah,
second. I was like,
he's looking around like, do you hear that?
I was like,
are you hearing that noise?
What are you doing to me, Rain? I have hypersensitive hearing now.
But no, the
super
game
fun.
has been pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys almost repeated the same mistakes again by running around and opening up multiple doors, but fortunately there weren't a lot of monsters there.
It's like I said, it's been awesome. It's been a different kind of experience, and I've never been a person that was really into D&D, and I find myself now really, really into it. And maybe it might be just like the honeymoon stage of D&D, but I find myself like, man, I wish we could play 2 nights a week, because I'm like, man, after that 3-hour mark, I'm like, I'm so sad we're stopping. Like, I want to keep going. Like, how far can we get before our eyes bleed?
No, I won't lie. Last night I wanted to keep playing.
Yeah.
The thing is it was getting close to 11:30, and we had already been going for over 3 hours. And I mean, I could tell that you get to a point where
You lose interest.
your players start to get a little distracted. Not that they don't care about the game; they totally do. It's just you've asked them to sit there for 3 hours with not really any real break.
Yeah.
So if you're going to play for sessions longer than I would say like 2.5, 3 hours, then you really got to say, all right, we're going to have like a break time where people can get up and walk around for 10 or 15 minutes and maybe go get a drink or eat a sandwich or eat a cookie, whatever, and then come back. But yeah, I did want to play more.
Yeah.
It's gotten to the point now where I'm almost like, I want to push the games to like 6:30. Because it usually takes us a half hour of just sitting around talking and BSing with each other before we actually get to roll any dice.
And honestly,
And there's nothing wrong with that.
yeah,
It is a social game.
it's not that bad. Like I said, I mean, I'd be down for our games to run them earlier. I just know once work starts back up, that's not going to be possible.
No.
So but I'm totally down, because it is the weekend, so people can't stay up later. Going until 12, hear me out here, you old man. 1 a.m. I don't care.
Dude, I can still game till 1. As long as I'm doing something that I'm having fun doing, as long as it's not dull, I absolutely can still game till 1.
But
I was up playing Animal Crossing until like 3:30.
There you go. But kind of spoiler for people in our games. I know Dr. Bias, if you're here, Bill, whoever, we're going to try to get through this campaign. And if I've already talked to Brandon, and we are going to, I think we're going to try to hit the pinnacle, and we're going to go into, is it Dragon Heist?
Well, I think there's a couple of campaign books out, but the one is Dungeon of the Mad Mage.
Yeah.
And honestly, to my D&D players who are watching now, because this is like, I would say like the pinnacle, right? This is the goal. So Dragon Heist realistically is if we continue going on at the pace that we're going, because I would say we're probably one more session or at least a half a session away from getting into chapter 3 in the game. The story is 10 chapters, if you were wondering, but you don't play all 10 chapters. So there are 4 potential villains in Dragon Heist that I can pick and choose from. I've already chosen the villain that you guys are going to be having dealings with, which that immediately eliminates about 5 or 6 chapters. So you only end up playing about 4 or 5 chapters.
Yep.
So I think it's going to take at least a month.
That's probably fair.
Maybe 2 months before you guys actually get to the end, which is fine. As long as it's still interesting and as long as you still care. But the ultimate goal is to get to Dungeon of the Mad Mage. Dungeon of the Mad Mage is a mega dungeon. It is like 18 or 19 floors of dungeon.
Yep, and it starts at level 5
Starts at level 5
to 20.
and you will hit level 20.
Yep.
And in fact, that's why I talked to you guys and introduced the concept of the yawning portal and the entrance into Undermountain. That's why I told you guys that whole story about the well that goes down into Undermountain. With the hopes that if we make it through this, we can start that.
Yep. And that's my thing. I would love, because I mean, I think that's the pinnacle. I think once you hit 20 and you beat the final boss, whether that's the Mad Mage himself, you quit the game. Like, you retire. You're done with D&D.
Here's the beauty of Dungeon of the Mad Mage. You don't have to stay in the dungeon. If you've cleared out levels, you can leave. You can come back. They're not going to be there anymore.
Yeah.
So if your guys are like, we don't want to dungeon crawl anymore. We're tired of being in this dungeon. We want to go have any other adventure.
Yeah.
Cool. You guys can exit the dungeon and we can go find something else to do.
Yeah.
But I bought like the maps and stuff for it. Like I don't buy a lot of physical product, but I've wanted to either play in it because I haven't read it. It's massive. I don't want to read it. If I'm going to be in the game, I don't want to read it. If I'm going to run the game, then I'll read it then.
Yeah, but we're going to try. I know my group, I want to get to that point, but Brandon kind of agreed, and he was like, you want to run a trial, like kind of how you guys are doing right now. One, because if somebody can stick with a game for 2 months, you're probably got a consistent group, because I mean they've dedicated that time to doing it. But when you're talking about a game or a session that long, I mean you're looking at 2 years easily of just straight playing for 2 years. And I know it's a dungeon crawler, and like I said, you can kind of get off track. So the more off track you get, the more, and like your team could wipe. You could hit points. Like think of SAO. Like you could all die.
I think the most important thing to remember is
you have to have fun.
It's if you're not having fun, then why are you playing? If it becomes a chore and a task and something that you don't look forward to, maybe it's time to break for a week. Yep. Or whatever. But that's really the gauge of your players, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Oh, for sure.
But I would say that as long as you guys are still meeting at least 3 times a month to get through game content, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think if you can even get people to show up twice a month to play every other week, is pretty good.
Yeah. So, I mean, if I miss everything and I might lose full, I mean, it happens. I think what
so your guys' campaign has been pretty straightforward as far as the tasks.
Oh yeah.
But I also know the game that you're playing. Now I only have ever ran or played the first part of that, the cave with the goblins.
Yeah.
So everything past that, don't know. Never. No one ever showed up the next week to play.
Like I said, it's going to be interesting, and like I said, I want to hit that point because I think it would be interesting, and I think as you play in a campaign like that, I think more people get into it, more into their character, because you start to have a bond for him. Like, man, if this guy goes down,
the further and the more that you play with the people that you're playing with, especially if you already just like them as people.
Yeah.
Not characters, but just like them as people. You do feel a real sense of attachment to who you're playing with and where you're playing. I mean, like last night, so the game that I'm running Dragon Heist. I really hope that people don't go look that up on the internet, but I want them to be surprised. I do have a few things that I've mixed up and changed around, but so with that, the first part of the game was very straightforward. It was very linear. Like, okay, here's your goal. You got to go rescue this guy. You got to go find out information about it, and then you find out that that's not the guy that you were looking for. The guy that you were looking for is not that place. You got to go to one more place, then you find him, you bring him back. Life is good. The second part has been
Investigation Central.
It's just been, let's go explore the area.
Yeah.
And I would say that adventure parts like this are the dullest for some groups, especially the groups that just want to roll dice and kill monsters, because they had to go around and do a lot of talking. They had to explore their surroundings, learn about the shops that were around. The reason for that is much like the same reason why you have a backstory for your character or why you keep playing with the same people, is that they want you to kind of care about what you're doing.
Yeah.
So this gives you roots within the city. It gives you a reason to care about the city, and it will probably be more interesting next week. But it was still interesting to watch their interactions with how they interacted with the town.
For sure.
Like Panda said, her and our druid, they went to the one bar, the Yawning Portal, and they got super drunk, and they were singing songs. They actually were singing on Discord. They were singing drunk songs on in the bar,
And I think that's awesome.
to get people to give them information.
And that's what, but that's just like I said. I mean, that comes with playing. That comes with like getting into your character and not thinking so much of like making it as linear as possible. Like that's a neat thought. Like not many people would think to do that. And
Sometimes it is point A to point B.
yes,
Sometimes it's very cut and dry.
and sometimes the DM just wants you to be creative.
Yeah, and I like to reward creativity.
Yeah.
If you think outside the box, or if you role play really well, even if you're not doing voices, and I don't care about that.
Yeah.
But as long as you're making an attempt to get into the game, I reward that. I will give you extra items.
Yep.
I'll give you more gold. I'll give you inspiration. I'll fudge a roll because I'll be like, you know what? They did a really good job on that one thing, so I'm not going to make them take 15 damage here.
Yeah.
You guys don't see that part because I don't show you my dice rolls, but
Yeah.
I fudge things sometimes.
For sure.
Just, I'm not trying to beat you. I'm not trying to kill you, but I will. Don't get me wrong.
I will
I absolutely will kill you.
Yeah. But I mean, my thing is this, and able to kind of answer your question. And if anybody is trying to get reference to that, my guy died.
Yeah.
Like dead.
He is DED dead.
And to be honest, I had a chat with our DM before the night started, and he said just roll another character for the just in case. And I liked the wizard. The wizard was cool. It had some cool abilities, but it's a total different play style than what I'm used to, and nor do I want to play. So I went into the ranger. And don't get me wrong, I felt bad when my wizard died because I was like, man, I did all this cool stuff. I did so much damage. But, like, after looking back on it, I'm like, man, I really just like to hit stuff and be right up in somebody's face and do cool things. And
your guys' group that I'm playing with is very fun.
Yeah. We love to fight.
They're very jokey. They take things seriously, but they don't. It doesn't seem like they get super offended.
Yeah,
But
and we sat there and, like,
your
when we
guys'
met.
your guys' group is very. It's kind of like watching an episode of Family Guy.
Yeah.
It really is.
Oh, for sure.
You just never know what the next thing someone's going to say comes out of their mouth.
I mean, we sat there, and when we first met our group, because we started this campaign with just, like, 3 players. It was 3 players, and then, like, I think the very next week, we're like, hey, we're adding 3 more.
Yeah.
Ta-da!
That's like,
And
that's on the cusp of too many for me.
like I said, we added the 3 more, and we met at the bar. And my guy walks up to him and pretty much just talks shit to him the whole time. And at the end, they're like, oh, we're just kidding. You can come. Like, let's go. So, I mean, it's really fun. We had somebody lie in our group about me being their brother.
And I caught it.
And he actually caught it, but since he is a
I'm a kinku.
Kinku,
And I can't talk.
He can't talk, but he can repeat things. So he just kind of walked out of the room out of frustration, like, you're a liar.
Yeah, you're a liar. I'm out of here.
So, and after I re-rolled my guy, I finally came back into the group, and everything's been great. Like, I found them in the cave of, well, kind of like the cellars. I keep calling it cellars, but I walked through a cave, and I've been stalking them the whole time.
So
But it gave me 2.5 hours to come up with the backstory. So
your group, since I've done like DMing before, I'm gonna summarize your guys' group. So you have your psycho, and that would be Dr. Bias.
Yep.
He comes in and he just wants to smash people in the face with his axe.
for sure.
He doesn't care about the consequences of those actions. He is not afraid of anything.
And doesn't care what's going to happen to
And
the group
I-
for those actions.
But I like that.
Yeah.
He's role playing his character the way that he wants to. He is Mad Max, right? He's going in and
being the barbarian,
and
yeah.
he's being the barbarian. He's filled with rage. He's hitting monsters.
He said he's going with the critical role guy, the guy that talks like Thor pretty much every time.
He loves battle. He wants to
Yes.
fight
Yes.
everything.
Yes.
That's sweet. So you've got your super aggressive player. You've got your kind of like strategist, and I would say that is your rogue.
That's Clay.
He
Dorinos.
is all the time trying to come up with a plan, trying to disguise himself, trying to get things into his advantage. So he's definitely the strategist. Now you guys don't always listen to
You
the
know,
strategist.
sometimes I amaze
Oh
even
my god,
myself.
3 weeks in a
3
row.
weeks in a row from Trudy. Thanks, Trudy.
Appreciate
That's
it, Trudy.
stars for us.
Stimulus check hitting different.
So you guys got your strategist,
Yep.
and then you guys have the comic relief, and I would say that rotates heavily between you.
And
And
Abel. Yep.
You have the guy that doesn't really seem like he cares. That's me.
Well, you play King Coons.
I do, but I don't.
Yeah.
And then you have the. It's like I seem like I don't care. I'm very what is it like? I'm like the hipster of the group.
Yeah.
Like I don't care. I did that before.
Yeah.
But I'll help you guys
Been there,
this
done
time.
that. Yeah.
And
And then you have the guy that just wants to help everybody, and that's Maximus.
yeah, he wants to help everybody.
Yeah.
The cleric.
Yep.
Um,
Maximus. Yeah. And he plays the cleric the perfect way.
he
Like-
plays it exactly like how I would picture a cleric.
Like he doesn't want to fight anybody.
No.
But he's more than happy to heal you up to make sure you can keep fighting.
yeah, he wants to make sure that you guys can keep killing stuff.
Yeah.
So that's how I would summarize your group. And considering all those things, my group is completely different.
Yeah.
So you've got our warrior. He's more like our comic relief, but he's not super hyper aggressive. He doesn't necessarily just want to go around and kill everything.
It's like whoa.
But he
let's-
hasn't- he
let's
hasn't-
talk about
No,
this.
no. He has absolutely no problem beating you in the face. But but yeah, he's sort of, I would say, comic relief. We've got a hippie in our group. They want to basically kidnap all the animals and capture them like Pokemon. Does not want to hurt any type of tree, plant, or otherwise. She role plays her character excellent. She wants to try and find peaceful solutions to a lot of things. So she's very pacifist and very hippie. Then we found our talker. We found the one who does the talking.
Who does the talking?
And the talking is the ranger. That's Panda.
That's Panda.
She is the talker of the group. She will go up and talk to the NPCs. She'll make the sales pitch. Last night, you need to go back and play that clip where she makes her sales pitch for selling this book for a mere 50 gold more than what he originally offered her. It was probably the best sales pitch I've ever heard in my entire life.
She could sell you your pin back to you.
We've got our super investigator. Investigates everything. Wants to explore every nook and cranny, and I love that. Much like Laura Croft. Has no problem stabbing people, killing people to get to that
Tomb Raider vibe. Got
to
it.
that final clue. How are we going to get to the final clue? So she has not had has had not as many moments to shine, but we're going to get there because I know that's her type of character, and I can't wait to get them into some situations where they get to do some more exploring and killing of people.
So what did you think about my backstory?
And then we got our cleric too, who I think probably should have rolled a wizard, because they don't do anything but cast firebolts.
Syrian whatever. Syrian
No, it's
flame.
firebolt because they're a high elf. They get a cantrip. They cast
Oh.
firebolt to everything. I'm like, you have a weapon. Go fight them. You have the highest armor class of everyone in the party, and
so
you're like, firebolt.
So what did you think of the 2.5 hour backstory that I had to come up with?
I felt like it was pretty good. You told me.
Venom of the Badge. I know I told you, but
you
I
told
was
me to
telling
come up with a
everybody.
backstory, and I wrote it.
I wrote it down too.
It's on my D&D Beyond character sheet.
I didn't write it. I wrote it down on a notepad, my little notepad. But
I love the differences between the groups. I love how very different.
because it's like playing two different games.
Because there's not really a talker in your guys' group.
Yeah.
And the person who's probably the best at talking can't talk.
Yeah. But he can mimic. So,
But I can mimic. I'm gonna have some more fun with that too.
So, but I mean, D&D's been fun, guys.
Your backstory was good. It was much better than your original backstory.
Venom of the honey badger. Honey badger don't give a fuck. But okay, I was just checking our time, so because we're kind of getting there. But I mean, I had 2 hours. It was basically punishment for dying. But I'm excited for next week because we're actually going to get some more stuff done. Hopefully, because we'll have a little bit longer because I don't think Bill is working that Friday, and I don't think we're going to have to start so late. But we may extend it if he's not working for like another hour because, to be honest, I really wanted to keep going last Friday.
Yeah, it
was sad.
Yeah, I feel like every group needs one or two people who can talk.
Oh, for sure.
And we have a couple people in our group that can talk. We have one who's definitely has no problem doing it at all.
Yeah.
Very good at it. And then I see at least two. I won't tell them who they are because I don't want to make them nervous. I see two that have
Potential.
the
Great potential.
the ability to.
Yeah.
but I feel like they're afraid that they're going to say the wrong thing, or that it's going to be dumb, or the NPC is going to get mad and try to fight them.
Yeah.
And if I feel like if you said something offensive, we're just going to roll a charisma check and we're going to just move past that. Because if you are charming, it doesn't matter how rude you are.
So I've been thinking about this. The next guy I roll, I'm gonna roll a monk,
Okay.
and I'm gonna be like the nicest monk in the world that only believes in peace. So anytime they want to do something bad, I'll be like, guys, I have to step outside.
Well,
I'm never gonna be in a fight. Like, no.
if you keep charging into dungeons like you do, that will be probably next week.
My near future. So, but guys, seriously, you guys have been awesome. I know we're kind of running on time, and we have margaritas to get, and we're gonna eat we're
gonna eat margaritas.
We're going to. Well, they will be. I'm getting mine frozen.
I'm not much of a margarita guy. Not me personally.
Okay, whatever. I'm getting the frozen margarita. Don't really care. But
so let's see. Recap. World still sucks.
World still sucks.
2020 has been pretty terrible.
But we're getting better, and you guys are getting better at being consistent and saying stuff. Trudy with another 500 stars, coming with it again. So margaritas and Philly cheesesteaks. I know that doesn't go well, but it doesn't matter because America.
We just want to point out to you guys that with your help today, we actually capped out at over 12 viewers.
It was 14.
We hit 14 today.
I saw.
I think that's like a new personal best for us on the show.
Yeah.
So thank you.
And make sure you guys are still telling your friends. I expect we can beat these numbers, guys. We've been at like the same consistent flow, but more communication.
There's
yeah. It's like we're still peaking at that like 9 or 10
we got
average.
on a couple weeks though, and it was just like me and you.
And we had like 10 people here, no talkers.
And no one said anything. And then we had a couple weeks where we came on. We were like, "Where's everybody at?" There's like nobody in the channel. And
Yeah.
you know what? We still did the show.
Yeah, we were getting nervous. But if you One Irish Panda, if you are doing that, I'll make sure I watch if I'm not streaming myself. But I appreciate everybody.
As long as I'm near a phone or
Yeah.
my computer and you're on, I'll put your show on.
Yeah, but I appreciate. No, it doesn't matter. That helps us.
No, that does absolutely helps.
The
us.
more people, like I said, mute the site, but make sure you have the volume on even a little bit. Mute the site because it still counts as a viewer. The more people we have watching, like on Twitch, the higher we go up on the page. So the more often, because who are you going to most likely click on? The guy with 12 viewers on his page, or the guy with 0? You're probably going to click on the guy with 12. You think he's doing something right though?
It depends on what they're doing.
I know.
If I'm looking for an obscure game, I'll go watch the guy that has no viewers.
Yeah, but like D&D, like I know I've kind of, because we get the stats for streams. I've had like 12 unique people almost every single time I'm streaming D&D. Like
Yeah.
people that have never been to the channel.
Yeah, never been there.
Never been.
That's another reason why we kind of want to do more D&D content.
Yeah, because
we're getting people to hit it.
Yeah.
We're getting people to show up to the page.
So we appreciate you guys. We're going to close off this show with a small moment of silence for Eldrin. He has fallen and is out of the D&D game. So bow your heads and, I don't know, pray to the gods that he believed in. So thank you guys all so much. And until next time, keep rolling. Nat 20s, no Nat 1s here, okay? F in the chat, for sure. F's in the chat. But appreciate you guys. I am Veer Coach.
I am Nictus.
This is Nictus plays games, but he talked today. So until next time, we love you, and we forgive you guys for killing me off. It was your guys' fault. So until next time,
Thank you.
CELEA.